In a big interview with The Talks, Benedict Cumberbatch talks about his experience with Marvel Studios playing Doctor Strange. And as much as he loves it, and as much as he's loved everything he's done, he believes that the character has had a lot of his emotional weight in scenes reduced to nothing, if not completely sidelined by the amount of action and just things going on in every film and scene. Okay, so to break down a lot of what he was saying in terms of character development, what's going on, and what happens, he essentially looks back at his time as Doctor Strange so far and says that if you look at it, the character's development has kind of taken a back seat. And he talks about how you started with Doctor Strange, and that's a character-driven film. And then you go to the Avengers films where he starts showing up, where he plays a prominent role, but those films aren't about character development. They are there as characters to service the story. And the characters in these movies don't really get a lot to do outside of the main characters that are the focus. Obviously, he's talking about Doctor Strange being kind of a second character, or even a third-tier character, in a film like Infinity War and Endgame, where the focus has to be put on other more important central characters who obviously we know by the end of Endgame are going to be gone and or die. So he says that this is one of those things where you just don't have enough time. It restricts the growth of the character, restricts the flow, restricts the movement, and as far as he's concerned, he believes that this has kind of become a dominant force in these films, where the big event films, you don't get character development, you just get the spectacle. And I'm just going to have to agree with him because he's right. You know, this is one criticism you can toss at every single giant film that's a giant crossover like this. And most of them are just the Avengers films, really, because nobody else has been able to pull it off. You sacrifice a lot, and that's unfortunate, especially when you go from Doctor Strange 1 to Doctor Strange 2 being more than half a decade. Again, there's all these cameos and small things he can do, but his character's growth is largely done off screen. So when you get to the film, it has to move rapidly, and he's just another, I guess, cog in the wheel, right? He's just there. He's helping move the machine. And that is unfortunate, and I get his frustration, and I 100% agree with it. You know, that's been one of my criticisms. Outside the two Doctor Strange films, he's largely just kind of glorified cameos and the guy that shows up who has more powers than we saw before. It's just kind of how it goes. It's unfortunate, but that's where we're at.